Hello, Uggies Worldwide. I'm Dave Casler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG. And today we're going to do a review of another big, giant power station, this one by AllPowers. I've reviewed AllPowers stations in the past, and they're fine. By the way, you may ask, what do I do with these? They were literally stacking up quite a ways. So I went down to the club meeting of the Montrose Amateur Radio Club and put them out along the back wall and says, okay, guys, have at it. Oh, I think I transferred 8 or 9 of these things. Now, I have a couple that I've kept and I've put in the trailer. This one is a large one, a really large one, so we'll take a look at it. Let's do the unboxing. Okay, what we see here are a recharging cable. This is a standard grounded computer cable, and a hefty one at that. It's a big one. Okay, now these things usually come with some charge on them. Here is claim your warranty activation, a manual inside of here, and one has to do with the AllPowers Club on Facebook. And this is the one, it's model R1500. Okay, and let's just open it up and see what we've got. The way these things are operated is usually pretty straightforward. They shipped it with a whole bunch of silica gel. Look at that. Now, I know there's nothing in here to eat, but make sure that these stay out of the reach of children. Okay, here it is. What we have in our hands is an AllPowers. You turn it on here, and so it's 67% charged. Oh, days left on the charge at this rate of discharge, which is nothing. You have 2 USB-A's that can handle up to 18 watts. And here are the USB-C, and these will go to 100 watts each. Now you activate these by turning on this light right here, short push. This little slot down here is just for the plastic tab. So you've got nice AC outputs. You've got 4 of them. And you've got 1 DC power takeoff that'll take up to 10 amps. Okay, on the side, we have the charging input. Here's the main reset breaker for everything. This is where a solar panel can come in, and this is your normal charge. Now, the solar panel or car input, 12 to 95 volts. So it'll handle up to a 48 watt panel. Okay. These are all cooling fins and a very nice built-in handle. On this end, we have the necessary connections so that you can stack these and do more than one. Okay, so this says expand battery port 01, expand battery port 02. Now, I have nothing to compare it with. We shall assume that part works. And now here on the back, portable power station, AllPowers, model R1500, capacity 1152 watt hours or 1.1 kilowatt hours. Product input, solar, up to quite a ways. You can use a higher voltage panel with this one. Charge temperature, discharge temperature, manufactured by AllPowers. These are the product outputs. AC 120 volts. You can change the size. 1800 watts max. Okay. USB-A, USB-C, and a car port or a little power socket. I believe you have to turn on this one, but this will charge 2 phones at a time. Well, it's 100% charged. Now, do not do this at home, okay? I'll connect this into here. And then I'm going to turn on the oscilloscope. Takes a little while to discover itself. Now I'm going to put this on 1x, 10x. I'm going to put it on 10x. So this will divide the voltage. One of these goes to one side, and then this one goes here. We make sure that they stay apart. Okay, now we're going to turn this thing on. Okay, so this is 123 volts. Okay, the volts RMS, which is what we're interested in here, okay? And the display looks very nice. In fact, it's one of the better displays. Right at 0, there's just a little tiny zero crossing blip on the positive going 0 crossing. Okay, so this is DC coupling, so we're getting an actual. Notice each one of these floats. Okay, and this is set for a 10 volt inversion. So now it shows 122, 123 volts. Okay, that looks like a pretty nice waveform for sine wave. Let's try our tests. First, a load test. This is a 1300 watt heater. So we'll plug this into another one of these. They're all paralleled. Okay, we see this bubbling just a little bit as it adjusts itself to the right height. Okay, there's 1300 watts output. And yes, it's quite warm. Okay, it shows 1474 watts output here. I measured this so that I know that it is 1300 watts. Okay, 0 watts input, 60 hertz, 27 minutes remaining. You can blow this thing at this power for 27 minutes if you need it. In a pinch, this could warm you up before this thing runs out of power. Okay, so it handles a fairly high load effortlessly. It's still saying 122 volts. Now we're going to try another type of load that is very difficult for a lot of inverters. All of the Chinese power stations that I've tested handle this just fine. Now let's look at that while I turn this on and off. Just barely on, just barely rotating, is a highly inductive load. Okay. And the voltage stayed the same all the way through. Now it says press DC button 3 seconds to on off Bluetooth. So we're hearing the fan in here briefly. Now I want to point out that a lot of these have lights on them. Some fairly powerful lights, some for general purpose lighting, some are just for lighting a small area. I don't see that this one has such a light on it, which is sad because the others do, but of course you can always plug a light into this. It'll take just what it needs. Okay, so here we are with the AllPowers. You can plug in up to 10 amps, okay? So a lot of radios, the bigger radios, take up to 20 amps, but you can certainly plug a QRP rig into this. Or you can plug in your power supply here, and this will take quite a while to discharge. So this would be good for having in your car for POTA. Okay, the thing is nicely silent, although I did hear a fan briefly. So everything works. It works like it is supposed to. At the heart of this unit is a fairly large lithium iron phosphate battery. And it does all of these things. Now there's a battery management system associated with it. So if you get close to over discharging it, it'll just shut off. So you'll have to apply some charging voltage to it to get it to turn back on. Now it has a Bluetooth capability, although it didn't work with the old AllPowers app that I have. You can use it with the app to change the voltage from 120 to 240. You can also change the hertz from 60 to 50 hertz. 50 hertz is still common around the world, very common. And you can change the voltage up and down. I'm not going to pay for an app just so I can check this out, but it does have a Bluetooth app that will allow you to do those extra things. Now, if you read the instruction manual, which is written in several languages, it just talks about how you change things through the code, through the app. Doesn't say anything in here about signing in or charging it. There's only an AC charging cable in here. There's not a cable where you can connect it to the car and charge it from the car while driving. We've got another power station here, this one from AllPowers. I've reviewed one or two of their systems before. They work just fine. I think that this would be good if you need some power for a while. This will power a POTUS station. If it's QRP, power it essentially forever. If it is a 100-watt radio, then you're actually going to do pretty good if you bring along your AC power supply, and then you can get the 20 amps out of it that you need to run your radio. Now note that 20 amps is only on the peak of the voice currents. A more average power is just a few amps or less. So there you have it. Do I approve of this? Yeah, it's big. What I would like to see them add to this is a light of some kind, so that if the lights go out, you can just push a button and you've got light. This is designed so that it will work as an uninterruptible power supply, like for your computer or whatever. And the nice thing about that is there's enough power in here to run your computer for quite a while. Normally, when you go to your normal store-bought uninterruptible power supply, the reason that it keeps it powered is so that you have long enough to do an orderly shutdown before you completely run out of power. This you can actually go for, I'd say 15-20 minutes, and then do your orderly shutdown. All right, there you have it. So until we next meet, 73.